Tonight's I-Team report towering concerns in Chicago following a nationwide rash of crane collapses, deaths, and injuries. Our investigations found questionable training and licensing requirements and slack city inspection reports.
ABC 7 investigative reporter Chuck Goudie found what some experts are calling holes in the system.
Ron, Kathy, it takes more schooling to be a hairdresser than to be certified as a crane operator or crane inspector in Chicago. Then there's a stack of City of Chicago crane inspection forms showing all of Chicago's high-rise cranes passed during a recent 6-month period. Some crane experts call the city reports unrealistic and incomplete, which raise towering concerns. More than a dozen people have been killed in tower crane collapses the past few months, including this deadly accident last week in New York. On Chicago's Jewelers Row, the foundation under a mobile crane caved in last year, and although no one was hurt, one inspector says it was an omen.
You will see in Chicago shortly what we are seeing in New York and Florida.
Federally accredited crane inspector Thomas Barth is critical of how Chicago city inspectors keep records, like this entry in one official Chicago report that notes work on the 389th floor.
Their paperwork is very shoddy, not even detailed. I don't know how they do it. It's slipshod work.
According to these city records obtained by the I-Team under the Freedom of Information Act, Chicago inspectors gave passing grades to virtually every one of the 45 cranes currently on job sites every week from a recent 6-month period. Barth says the one-line inspections fail to indicate basic load tests, which show how much weight a crane can hold.
And that's very important. That has to be done. It's mandatory. And there's no records of it.
The city's building department contends load tests are conducted, just not shown on these reports. But the city would not provide any proof, maintaining load test reports contain trade secrets. Nor would building department officials talk on camera. In a written statement, they said, "We have one of the most comprehensive tower crane programs in the United States. It is irresponsible to look at an inspection history and claim our inspections are incomplete." Construction companies say they also monitor their own cranes.
They are inspected on a daily basis, and on a weekly basis, and a monthly basis by more than just one person.
But retired Chicago construction safety manager Suzanne Hollis says she has proof crane inspections have been lax for years, her missing left arm. Hollis was awarded a multi-million-dollar settlement after a 1996 suburban accident attributed to faulty equipment and sloppy crane work.
I was conscious the whole time this was going on. It was pulling my arm off. There's too much equipment out there that's not inspected, completely inspected all the time.
Crane operators in Chicago are required to pass a written city test, but do not have to be trained or even licensed by the state of Illinois, as is required by a growing list of other states.
It's perfectly acceptable, apparently, for an operator to get on a crane without any documented experience or any documentation of his or her skill or knowledge, and that does concern us.
It takes longer to become a hairdresser than it does to become a crane operator.
7 crane inspectors currently work for the city. All are said to have experience as crane operators, but they are not required to have special training or licensing to inspect cranes. A final note about those passing grades for every crane in the city month after month. City officials called the I-Team to say that some cranes do fail inspections, but are repaired so quickly that the report cards always show pass. Now that is efficiency.
All right, thanks, Chuck. On the health beat.